Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to the maths class. Dear students, in the last class we have finished the introduction of functions and we have already discussed how to find out domain, codomain and range of the function. In this session, I am going to explain about the types of functions. Okay, types of functions. In this, first let's see real valued function. Real valued function. So real valued function means the function f a to b is real valued function if b is subset of R. Okay, the function f is a to b is called real valued function if b is subset of R. Another function we have real function. Real function. The real function means the function f a to b is called a real function if a and b both are subset of R. Okay. Now let's discuss the standard real functions. Some standard real functions. Okay. Here in this first one is constant function. Constant function. Okay. The constant function is a function defined as f of x is equals to c for all x belongs to R. Okay, here c is a constant. C is constant. So the domain of the constant function is R. Domain of function f is equals to R and range of f is equals to c only. This is the range. So here input is f of x is equals to c. This input is domain. So this is constant. This output as a range. Okay. The graph of constant function. This origin is we consider as a x-axis. This is y-axis. Okay. This is represents f of x. This is y is equals to f of x we can consider. So the graph is always parallel to x-axis only. This is a graph here. Suppose if you took this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 and 1, 2, 3 lines. Okay. Next minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 we can represent lines. So here the graph of a constant function is like this. Okay, it is a straight line parallel to the x-axis. So here y is equals to, just reconsider, y is equal to function f of x is equals to c. Constant is just I consider 2, it is a constant. So here y is equals to 2. So y is equals to 2 is always parallel to x-axis only, right? So here if c is greater than 0, then the graph is above the x-axis. So here 2 is greater than 0, right? So that's why it is above the axis. Suppose c is equals to 0, it is coincident with the x-axis. It is coincident with the x-axis. Suppose c is less than 0, then the graph will be below the x-axis. Suppose if y is equals to minus 1 I consider. So here it is minus 1. So that's why the graph is below the x-axis. Okay. Now see another function. Another function is identity function. So here it is second one is identity function. Identity function is a function defined as f of x is equals to x only. f of x is equals to x for all x belongs to R. Okay, so domain of identity function, you can take any R value, real number. Domain is real number and range also you will get real number. Always you will get real number. Let's see. Suppose here it is my answer y is equals to f of x is equals to x. If I give y is equals to the f of 1 in place of x I give again want to get 1 only, right? If f of 2 I have given f of 2 and 2 will come. If f value I give minus 1, then what will come? Minus 1 only will come because f of x is equals to x only. This is the identity relation. The same value will get. So here, one of the order base here it is y. These are x values. So first 1 we get as 1, and for 2 we get again 2. For minus 1 we get minus 1. If you took minus 2 you will get again minus 2 only, because the function defines that f of x is equals to x for all x belongs to R. This represents the identity function. If you draw a graph with this order base, so let's see how we will get this one. So here this is the origin, this is 1, 2 and 3. This is also 1, 2, 3. So minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, like this we can consider. So first one is 1, 1. So here it is 1, both are positive, this is a point, and 2 and 2, this is the point, here 2 and 2. And minus 1 comma minus 1, this is the point here, and minus 2 comma minus 2, this is the point here. So if we join these all points, we get one straight line, right? This is one straight line. This is the graph of the identity function. So the graph of identity function is a straight line which is passes through the origin, and it makes a 45 degrees positive angle with the x-axis. Right? This is about the identity function. Clear? Now let's see polynomial function. Polynomial function. So here the next one is polynomial function. Polynomial function. So the polynomial function is a function defined as f of x is equals to a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube plus up to so on plus an x power n. An x power n for all x belongs to R, where a0, a1, a2, a3 up to so on an or real numbers, and n is a non-negative integer. This is the condition for the polynomial function, non-negative integer. So once see again, so polynomial function is a function defined as f of x is equals to a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube plus up to so on an x to the power n for all x belongs to R, where a0, a1, a2, a3 and an are real numbers and n is a non-negative integer. This point is very, very important. Non-negative integer. So here domain of the polynomial function is real number, and range of polynomial function also a real number. So if the graph of this polynomial function is always like this only. The graph of the polynomial function like this. Suppose if you consider y is equals to f of x is equals to x square minus 3x plus 1. If you took some particular value for x, we will get y value. In like that, in the earlier example, we will get some order pace. Based on the order pace, if you draw the graph for the polynomial function, the graph will come like this. Okay, this is the rough graph of the polynomial function. If you want the original graph, So you have to take the particular values for x and you will get the y values, and finally we will get order pace. Based on the order pace we can identify the points on the graph sheet and you can join the points. We will get a proper graph of the polynomial function. Okay, this is about this. The polynomial function graph is just is a curve. Okay, now let's see another type of function, that is a rational function. Rational function. Rational function. Rational function. So rational function is a function defined as f of x is equals to g of x by h of x. Here h of x is not equals to 0, because if h of x is equals to 0, this function will not be defined. So that's why h of x is not equals to 0, and for all x belongs to R, where g of x and h of x are two polynomials or polynomial functions. Clear? The definition of rational function is, it's a function defined as f of x is equals to g of x by h of x, where h of x is not equals to 0 and for all x belongs to R. Here g of x and h of x are polynomial functions. So rational function domain of f is subset of R, and range of f is also subset of R. The rational function graph is like this. The rational function graph is like this only. This is a rough graph of the rational function. Okay, so this rational function graph also represents one kind of a curve. If you want proper curve, just take the values. For suppose I took one rational function y is equal to this f of x is equals to x squared by x plus 3 if we consider. Just take the x values and you will get y values. Based on that you will get finally order base. If you take those orders and identify those points on the graph, you will get a proper curve as like this. This is a rough graph. Okay. Now let's see another kind of function. So here it is very important that what is modulus function. Modulus function. Modulus function. So the modulus function is a function defined as f of x is equals to modulus of x for all x belongs to R only. For all x belongs to R. So here the domain of modulus function is equals to R, and the range of modulus function is like this, 0 to infinite closed bracket. So here it is closed bracket, this is the open bracket. So let's see, in the before functions everywhere we are getting domain as real number and range also real number, but here the case is different, because f of x is equals to modulus of x. Suppose f of x is different like this, modulus of x. If we give x value is 1, we get what we get, modulus of 1 is equals to 1. Next, if we give f of 0, then modulus of 0 we get 1 only. If we give f of minus 1, then modulus of minus 1 is also a plus 1. If we take f of minus 100, then modulus of minus 100 is also plus 100. So if we observe this modulus function, if we give any value, either positive value or negative or 0, we will get always only the positive values here, right? So that's why the domain is, or any number you can give as a domain, and the range is completely different, 0 and all the positive values we are getting, right? 1, So here it is modulus of 0 is 0, 1, 0, 1, again it is 100. All these are positive values. And if you give suppose 2000, f of 2000, you will get minus 2000 if you give, again you will get 2000 only, positive value you get. Like that you can give any maximum number, you will get that maximum number and it is a positive number. So that's why the range is 0 to infinite. Infinite is not considered because this value is we don't know how much it is. This bracket is important. This is a open bracket means this value we don't consider. This is the closed bracket, we should consider this value 0. And between 0 and infinity, those values will come as a range. So all these values are between these two, but we not focus on this infinite. We don't know the value of this. So we should exclude this. We should include all the values with 0, 1, 2, 3 up to so on. Right? So that is the difference here before the functions and about this function. Earlier function domain is R and range also R, but this function is different because the function f of x is equals to modulus of x. Right? So this function graph is like this. So once see graph, if we write in order way, so suppose this is a y is equal to f of x. So what we give for x is 1, then what is the y value here? 1. Next 0, again get 0. And what is the x value? Minus 1 and y value is 1. Minus 1 is 1. Again minus 100, it is we got 100. So but to take small values, I will get a graph in a certain way. Suppose f of minus 2 if I consider, then we will get minus 2 modulus of minus 2 is 2. So here minus 2 and 2. Now let's see the graph for this R size. So here it is 0, this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. Clear? So this is also 1, 2 and 3. This is f of x. That means this is y is equals to f of x. This is x and minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Here also minus 1, minus 2 here. Now let's see the these order ways on the graph sheet. 1, 1. So here it is 1. This is 1 and this is also 1. And 0, 0. This is another point. Next minus 1, 1. This is minus 1. This is 1 like this. And minus 2 and 2. Here it is minus 2. This is plus 2. So this is the point. If you take plus 2, again you will get plus 2 only. So here it is 2 and this is also 2. If you join these points, you get the graph like this. Okay, we can get the graph like this. So what is the shape of this graph? So graph of the modulus function is V shape. Graph of the modulus function is V shape. Right? We got this graph in V shape only. Right? Now let's see another function, that is modulus function is for. Now it's a signum function. Signum function. Signum function is a function defined as f of x is equals to 1 when x is greater than 0, and it is 0 when x is equals to 0, it is minus 1 when x is less than 0. For all x belongs to R. For all x belongs to R. Once again, the signum function is also completely different as compared to the other functions. So here it is a signum function means it is also a function defined as f of x is equals to 1 when x is greater than 0, and it is 0 when x is equals to 0, it is minus 1 when x is less than 0. So here we can say that based on this, domain is equals to what? R only for all x belongs to R. So domain is R. What is the range here? Range is only these two values we have to be considered: 1, 0 and minus 1. So in the order that is right, minus 1, 0 and 1. This is the range of this signum function, because if you take x greater than 0, any value you will get only 1. If you take x is equals to 0, you will get 0. If you take x less than 0, you will get only minus 1. These values only will get for any x value, these three values. Right? So that's why this is range of this signum function. Let's see the example for this. Suppose if I took x greater than 0, so first if I consider 1, then it gives 1, right? If I took 2, again it is mapped with 1 only, because the case is f of x is different than x is greater than 0. At this case you will get 1 only, right? So that's why if you consider 2 is greater than 0, again we should map with 1, so that's why 2 comma 1. If I consider 3, again we will get 1, because it is x greater than 0. If you took 0, then we will get 0, because the condition is given if x is equal to 0, then this is also 0. Next, if I consider x less than 0, suppose I consider minus 1. Minus 1 is mapped with minus 1 only. And if I consider x less than 0, minus 2 it is. This is also x less than 0. Minus 2 is also mapped with minus 1 only. Right? If I took minus 3, again it is mapped with minus 1 only. So these are the second phase according to the given condition. If you draw the graph for this order phase, we'll see how the graph becomes. So first if I consider this is a 0, this is 1, 2, 3, this is 1, 2, 3, this is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 like this, and this is minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3 I consider like this. Now just observe this order pair 1 and 1, so this is the 1 and 1, this is 1 point. Okay, next 2 comma 1, again 2, here it is 1, 2, 1, and 3, 1, here it is 3, again 1 it is. So if you join these points, you get like this, right? Next way, minus 1 to 1, so minus 1 and 1, minus 1, so this is the point, and minus 2, again minus 1, here minus 2, and this is minus 1, again the point is here, and minus 3 and minus 1, so minus 3 here and minus 1 here, so again the point is here. If we join this point, we get a graph like this. Just we are getting a straight line every time, right? So this is the graph of signum function, right? This is the f of x. F of x means y is equals to f of x. This is the x value. Clear? This represents the signum function, because we clearly know that based on this order base we can draw the graph like this. Okay? Next, we have some other functions. Another function is greatest integer function. Greatest integer function or floor function. For function. So the greatest integer function is a function defined as f of x is equals to greatest integer of x for all x belongs to R. From x belongs to R, where greatest integer of this x denotes the greatest integer less than or equal to x, meaning of this function is the greatest integer less than or equal to x. For example, 5.4, this value is the greatest integer less than or equal to x. So the 5.4 greatest integer less than or equal to 5.4 is 5. And suppose if it is 4.3, then this value is 4. If we took 7.4, this value gives again 7. Because of the meaning of this function is greatest integer less than or equal to x. So that's why this value is 7. Suppose if you took minus values, minus 3.4, greatest integer less than or equal to minus 3.4 is minus 4, right? Minus 4 is less than minus 3.4. Suppose if you took minus 1, then this value is also just minus 1, right? So in this way we can get the greatest integer of a particular function. Clear? And the domain of greatest integer function is equals to R. Any value can give the decimal numbers or negative values, any fixed values, if we do, we get one particular value here. So domain of the greatest integer function is R, real number, and range of this function is Z. Range of this function is Z, because we are getting some positive values and negative values also. And if you get the 0, and 0 will come. So Z contains what? Positive values, negative values along with 0. So that's why range of the greatest integer function is Z. Clear? So just the graph of the greatest integer function is like this. Just I am drawing the rough diagram of the greatest integer function here. If you want the clear diagram based on these values, we can draw the proper greatest integer function. So just I am drawing the rough diagram. So here it is the origin 1, 2, it is 3, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2. So here it is minus 1, minus 3 here. The graph will be like this. So this is 1, and another is in this way we can observe the graph of a greatest integer function. This is a graph diagram of greatest integer function. Okay. Now let's see another type of function, that is exponential function. This is little different as compared to the other functions. This is a exponential function. Exponential function. So this is also a function. It is different as f of x is equals to b power x. B power x for all x belongs to R. Okay, exponential function is a function defined that f of x is equals to b to the power x for all x belongs to R. So here b is a real number and it is greater than 1. This condition is important here. B is a real number and it is greater than 1. Now let's see, the domain of this exponential function is R, and range of this exponential function is 0, infinite, except these two. These are the closed brackets. So except these two values, and the values between these two are considered as a range. Okay, so let's see why here the b is real number and it is greater than 1. If it is 0, then 0 power anything, we can't say exactly how much it is, right? So that's why it must be a greater than 1. Sometimes it may be negative value. So at that time also we cannot decide properly. So here, if I took this b value is 2, b is equals to 2, then f of x is equals to how much? 2 power any value you can take, because domain is R. You can take any x value. Suppose if I consider 0, it will give 2 power 0 is 1. Suppose x is f of 0 is there. F of 1 I consider, then it is 2 power 1, then it is 2. Right? So 1, 2 like that. If you give any other value, we will get some other values. Right? So that's why maximum in the range you will get the numbers between these two numbers only. So that's why you should use these closed brackets here. Except these two values, you will get the numbers which are lie between these two. That is the range of exponential function. Okay? Now let's see the graph of exponential function. I am drawing just rough graph once. This is y-axis, this is the x-axis, x and y. So if you draw the graph with the certain values, you will get like this. This is the rough graph of exponential function. Okay. Next we have one more function that is also related to this exponential function, but little different. It is logarithmic function. Logarithmic function. Okay. So once a logarithmic function is a function defined as f of x is equals to log of x base b for all x belongs to 0 comma infinite open brackets. So here this condition is important. For these values only this log function will be valid or defined. So logarithmic function is the function defined that f of x is equals to log x base a for all x belongs to 0 and infinity. So these are closed brackets only. But except these two values, the values which are lying between these two, the function is defined. For those values only, this logarithmic function is defined. So domain is equals to 0 comma infinity closed brackets. Open brackets. Except these two values, for all the remaining values which are between these two, the logarithmic function is defined, right? So here range is r. Range is r. We can get all the values in or either decimal numbers, positives, negatives, and zeros. Everything we will get in the logarithmic function as a range. Okay. Rough diagram, the graph of logarithmic function, just see, this is the rough diagram. So here it is, just the graph of this logarithmic function will be like this. Okay. This is x and this is y. This is the origin. So the shape of logarithmic function is like this. This is just rough diagram for the logarithmic functions. So if you go through all these functions, you will get a clarity on the each and every function. Dear students, I hope you understand all these definitions of functions. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. I will clarify the doubts. Okay, we'll meet in the next session. Thank you.